In the US, public schools aren't allowed to serve plant-based milk to students unless they have a doctor's note. But that might be about to change. Under federal law, schools that participate in the National School Lunch Program are legally required to serve dairy milk to students with every meal. They're only allowed to serve non-dairy milk to students who provide a doctor's note attesting to a disability or other dietary need. That's because one of the self-stated goals of the National School Lunch Program is to support domestic agricultural producers, in this case, the dairy industry. But that's a problem for a number of reasons. Over 1/3 of all Americans are lactose intolerant, and the rates are even higher for people of color. But lactose intolerance isn't considered a disability under the Americans with Disabilities Act, and doctors aren't required to treat it as one. As a result, the dairy milk requirement disproportionately harms low-income students of color and makes it more difficult for them to access beverages at school that their bodies can digest. The production of dairy milk is also significantly worse for the environment than the production of soy milk, oat milk, almond milk, and other non-dairy alternatives. Many students prefer to drink plant-based milks for environmental reasons, but the law currently forbids that. But now, a pair of bills in Congress might change that. The Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act is primarily aimed at allowing schools to serve whole milk, which they currently aren't allowed to do. But another provision of the bill would lift one of the barriers to serving non-dairy, plant-based alternatives as well. If the bill passes, students will only need to provide a note from a parent as opposed to a doctor in order to be served non-dairy milk. The Senate version of the bill goes even further and allows schools to voluntarily offer non-dairy milk to all students if the school chooses to do so. Under current law, that's illegal. The Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act is still only a first step to creating equal access to plant-based milk in public schools. Even if it passes, schools will only be allowed to offer non-dairy milks that meet certain nutritional requirements as outlined by the USDA. And neither bill would give all students unfettered access to non-dairy milk in schools. Nevertheless, the fact that both versions of the bill gained bipartisan support in Congress suggests that maybe policymakers are starting to take plant-based, non-dairy milk replacements seriously.